Welcome to another video.
Hey there guys and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about something which I think you could find quite useful if you know any Chinese people. By this I mean perhaps you have a Chinese exchange student in your school. Maybe you have a Chinese work colleague. Maybe you're doing a homestay for an international student, or perhaps you just met a Chinese person somewhere in life. When Chinese people arrive in a different country, like America, Australia, etc., etc., there are a couple of things that you can do to make them feel a little bit more comfortable. So I've got my lovely wife here, who by the way is now pregnant with our first child. Tell everybody, is it going to be a boy or a girl?
Maybe boy. And the best. Oh, sorry. Maybe girl.
Yeah, maybe a girl. Absolutely. Anyway, we'll keep you updated on that in the future. But I thought that I would ask my wife to help me with this, since she is Chinese and she's experiencing the same thing, having just recently moved out of China. So what's the first thing we can do?
The first thing, number one, with Chinese people, we like a 热闹 place, lively place. So take them to somewhere 热闹.
China's full of people. Everywhere you go, you'll always find people. It's very lively. Like she said, you go down to the market, there are people everywhere. So you get used to being surrounded by people, even if they're strangers. So most Western countries, when you arrive in a Western country, it's kind of empty. And this can actually make people feel quite uncomfortable. So think about taking them to places like a farmer's market, for instance, or maybe fruit picking or something like that, where there's a kind of a jovial atmosphere, people are all doing something interesting, etc., etc. On top of this, what's really good about going to some place like a farmer's market is, these sort of local specialty items you can buy, because maybe you can tell them, when Chinese people travel, what kind of gifts do they like to bring back?
Well, maybe it's like some local food, because only something America have will surprise Chinese, right? You can't bring something made in China and back to China to surprise your Chinese friend, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, in China, very often, whenever my Chinese colleagues or friends would travel to some interesting place, they would come back and bring the specialty, some kind of specialty item, maybe a snack, maybe some kind of clothing, something that's made specifically there. So that's why like a farmer's market would be a good idea, because they could get some kind of very locally made anything and take it back, and it would be, have a lot more meaning than just bringing a random gift, something like that. Okay, cool. What about number two?
So number two, you might think it's a bit weird, but Chinese people, we kind of used to drink warm water or hot water. So if you have some warm water to prepare at home, we'll be really appreciated.
Yeah, it's true. When I got to China, that was one of the biggest shocks for me, is that on a hot summer's day, if you visited someone's office or someone's house, they would offer you a cup of warm water. And I thought this was crazy, because who wants to drink hot or piping hot or warm water on a hot day? Now, it's exactly the opposite here. It's got to do with Chinese medicine and the idea of the body and qi and things like that. And it's believed to be unhealthy to drink ice cold water in a lot of places in China. So if you were to offer your Chinese guests a freezing cold glass of water with ice in it, they would probably feel a little uncomfortable. So if you're having Chinese people over, just make sure you have a kettle or something so that you can offer them some warm water. I think it will make them feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah. Actually, microwave can make the water warm, so don't really need to buy the kettle for one-time use or 1 week use.
Yeah, I guess you could use a microwave,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's go on to number three.
Number three, because some famous American brand well-known product is much more expensive in China. So, of course, when the Chinese people come to America, we love to shop some discount shop,
Yeah, I mean, not only American brands, but pretty much any luxury brand from around the world will have a much larger tax in China than it will in the country that it comes from. So whichever country you're in, find out what kind of luxury brands or well-known brand names are from your country. Take them to an outlet mall or take them to somewhere like a local shop that sells those things. And that's something that most Chinese people would love to be able to do, is to go and buy a luxury brand or a brand name item, which they just can't get in China because it's too expensive. So, what's the next one?
Number four, most of Chinese people, when we stay in another country, we will really miss our hometown food or home cooking.
Yeah, that's true. The thing about China is that it's got such a diverse culinary landscape, I could say. Every single hometown, every town, every small village, they each have their own specialty. And every single Chinese person I've ever met or taught or interacted with in the past has always been very proud of or is very happy to talk about the specialty food that comes from their hometown. So I think it's a great conversation starter. It's also a way to kind of make the conversation more friendly and get to know a person, is ask them what kind of special food comes from their hometown in China. And it might be difficult for them to explain because a lot of the cuisine is quite complicated the way it's made. But I think just having the discussion will be quite a lot of fun. So you guys can start to talk about different flavors and tastes and maybe try find something similar nearby that they can try as well in your country. So anyway, let's move on to the next one.
Number 5. We think it's cool if you will try to speak a little bit Chinese.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed as well. Chinese people are very receptive when you at least try and put a little bit of effort into learning Chinese. So even if you learn basic words like 谢谢, 你好, 你吃饭了吗, something like that, this will impress your Chinese friends and also make them feel as if you're trying to at least put some effort into learning their culture and their language. I found a good tip is to learn some Chinese idioms, but just funny ones, but say them in English. Like, there's a very famous saying, 好好学习天天向上, means if you study every day, you will improve. But if you say it in English, good study, day up. It always gets a chuckle from my Chinese friends. Or it's something like, I will give you color CC, 我给你颜色看看, which is one of those fun things people say to each other if there's an argument, like a little fun little argument. So I think finding something funny that you can say in English just to show that you actually are trying to understand the language and culture can go a really long way. So I think that's pretty much it for this. These are just 5 little tips. We might do more of these in the future, all depending. But I do hope that this can help you understand and at least break the ice when you meet a Chinese person in your daily life. So, anything you'd like to tell our subscribers before we sign off?
Stay awesome and see you next time.
Absolutely. Don't forget, she does have her own channel, Who Knows. She's just started making videos again. So there's a link to it. You can go check it out.
Welcome to my videos. Join me each time for a quick look at something interesting. And who knows, you may enjoy it.
Yeah.
I noticed that you're wearing a clown t-shirt.
I am wearing a clown t-shirt.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, now let's just hit the merch. Let's hit the merch. We got a new t-shirt. Why do we have the two of us punching a clown?
This is hard to explain.
Yeah, holding a 50 cent. Well,
Right.
we all know about the 50 cent army,
Sure.
right? And basically the Wuma. So the clown is the 50 center. But the reason we made this up, it's not just like pulled it out of thin air.
No.
We love reading the Chinese forums when they...
It's like our favorite
yeah,
hobby.
they discuss us and they have all these stupid insults.
Right.
But they very often use like Chinese idioms.
Well, we
and
usually
stuff.
understand that.
Yeah, like bottom of the frog, you know,
Right.
bottom of the
Bottom
well,
of the well
frog,
frogs,
and you
yeah.
know, like all that stuff.
White pigs, all that
But
stuff.
one thing that they used a couple of times, which we couldn't understand, because they always call us two cheats, right? The two cheats making China look bad. But they kept
Right.
saying two cheats hit the clown. And we're like, what the hell does...
We asked everyone. We asked Chinese people because,
Yeah.
like, I like to think our Chinese is quite good, but it
Yeah.
stumped us. We tried
Yeah.
to translate each character.
Yeah.
I asked my wife. I asked my
Yeah,
friends.
I asked my wife. No one could
they
understand.
were like, "What the hell does that mean?" But they kept saying it.
Xiao Chou, what, like Lianga Pian's a Daga Xiao Chou, something
Yeah.
like that. We're like, what the hell does that mean? So we thought, well, we're just going to make a t-shirt out of it.
Right. I mean, two cheats at the clown.
Yeah,
That's
so
us, dude.
we're the two cheats over here.
And we're hitting
and
the
we're
Wuma.
hitting the 50 cent clown.
Right.
So if you guys feel the need to...
Well, they've been profiting off of us, leaving horrible threats and stuff. We're getting
Yeah.
paid 50 cents per comment. Why can't we recoup just a little bit of that and support
Yeah.
the channel?
Join the two cheats hit the clown army. And every single Friday you can watch another SerpentZA right down here. Don't forget Wednesday we have Lao 86 on his channel, and together we do ADVChina every single Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys also have the time, don't forget to go and check out our awesome podcast, which now happens every second week. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Can't wait to see you in the next one. And until then, you know the drill. As always, stay awesome.
I would say that.